Hey, this is Carrie with Canary Quilts, and I want to update you on my tumbling block quilt. If you watch my box openings, you know that I get the mini charm pack from Fat Quarter Shop each month, and you get 4 of these in a pack, and it doesn't cost very much. I mean, I think it's less than $20 a month. And I was collecting them because I wasn't sure what to do, and this summer I decided I'm going to do a tumbling block quilt with no Y seams. And so I did a little video on how to do that. But I wanted to update you on, this isn't even all that I've got. I've got more here that I haven't even put up. I've got charm packs, because I was collecting them, that I haven't done yet. And I'm still getting them every month. So I needed to decide what size quilt I wanted. And I think today I decided that I'm going to go king size. That's the size of my bed. I have a Tulip Pink Nebula that I did on my bed right now. But this would be really different than that, and I could switch them out. So what I'm going to do is just kind of refresh you on how I'm doing this. And if you're new here, you can take a look at how I'm doing this and decide if maybe you want to use up some scraps, or you could use jelly rolls and cut those up, or get some mini charms and do this. This can also be a small quilt. It could be a table runner. I mean, just a small section of this would look really cool. So I wanted to show you again how I'm doing this. I wanted to update you on where I'm at, let you know that I think I'm going to go for a king size quilt on this. So I've got a long ways to go. I think my design wall is maybe a king size quilt. So I do have a long ways to go, but I'm not in a hurry to do this. I think it's a lot of fun. And like I said, I love the tumbling block pattern. So the last time I talked about this pattern, I had a few people who knew me who were like, I can't believe you didn't mention your bathroom. So when I lived in Michigan, my husband and I owned a century home, and it was in need of a lot of remodeling. And one of the last remodels we did was we turned a bedroom into a bathroom upstairs, and we put tile in, and we put a tumbling block pattern. I'm going to throw a picture up right now so you can see it. That was so much fun to do. It was a lot of cutting tile, but I mean, in the end, it was really worth it. And then we put a carpenter star into the bath, or into the shower. So since I got a little flack about not letting you know about that last time, I wanted to show you this time that I've had a little bit of tumbling block experience, just not in a quilt. So I saw this idea somewhere, like on a short on YouTube or something like that. And it also reminded me of when I did a 1 block wonder quilt. This is exactly how we put it together, was in rows of half blocks like this. So each of these is a half block, and then you'll put the rows together, and then you'll match them up the way they go. So anyway, hit the subscribe button, notification bell. I'll keep updating you on this as it goes. And I've got lots of other fun stuff we're doing here. But anyway, let me do a little refresher course on how I'm doing this quilt. Okay, so what are we looking at here with my tumbling blocks? Right here are all the blocks that I've finished. And if I've hung them up, I take them down 1 block at a time, and I keep them together like that, so that when I'm ready to put them back up, I know which blocks go together. So that block goes together, then the next one goes together. So that's kind of how I'm storing those. As I get done with the with like a fabric line mini charm pack, let's see, somewhere in here, I just kind of keep them together. I know that they're right here, they're right in front of me. I keep them together in sets, and as you go through the sets like this, and you grab them, the top one, I've kind of laid it out so the top one goes together, and then the next one goes together. So that's kind of how I'm doing these that I have not put up on my board yet. But the reason I'm doing it like this is because as I take them on and off, they'll end up being more random than in sets of like the designers or the fabric lines. So, and I love when my fabric subscriptions that I get come in these bags. I use them all the time to store things. So this is how I'm storing the ones that I finished. And then what else do I have here? These are extras that didn't fit anywhere when I was laying out my blocks. So they're in here and I do pull from them. sometimes I get these mini charm packs and they have like way more darks than lights, or more lights than darks, or maybe no mediums. So I will look through here and see if anything will go with those so I can pair them up. So these are just extras. These are all the charm packs that I haven't cut up yet. And they are all mini charms, which I love because I don't have to cut any fabric. But I did have this left from my roadside harvest. I had some 2.5 inch strips, so I cut them into 2.5 inch squares. So I do have these in here also. So I've just been keeping them in this bag, and I pull from them to start cutting up. And I've been keeping the little things that go on the outside of this that tell what fabric line they are. I don't know why. I'm gonna have so many of them. I don't even think I'll use them, but I am keeping them for now. And then, like I said, I'm pulling out a mini charm pack. I've got a 60-degree ruler, and this is quite a big one. I think they might sell smaller ones, but that's what I'm using. I've got this turntable type of rotary or cutting table, and I've got a fresh new blade in here. So what I do, oops, I need that. Keep these stacked as well as I can, and then I take some, maybe about 6 at a time. I don't count them, I just take a stack. And you'll be dealing with a lot of fluff with these little mini charm packs. Let's see. I want her to be in it, so I'm going to put this down here. So these are 2.5 inch length. So on my 60-degree ruler, I'm bringing the 2.5 inches down here to the bottom of my charm pack. And then those seam lines, these dotted lines right here, are hitting my corners of my charm pack. So now I just want to cut along that edge and cut along this edge. So I get this triangle, and then my seam allowances are already worked into the edges here. And I'm going to set those aside, and I'm just going to do this entire charm pack until, turn that upside down, keep them in order, until I get done. So 2.5 inch mark along the bottom, seam allowance, dotted lines along the corner, and cut. And stack. All right, there is my mini charm pack all sliced up. I've got my iron turned on. I don't need this anymore. I'm going to separate these into light, mediums, and darks the best that I can, and see what I end up with. Some of these may be considered more lights. Maybe the gray could be light. Those kind of look like mediums. Looks like I've got a lot of mediums, so I might have to make some of these light depending on the colors that I have. So that's kind of how you want to separate your fabrics, is into light, mediums, and darks. And like I said, each fabric line kind of has a different amount of lights, medium, and darks. So I'm going to take my lights and I'm going to put them with their bases together like that. And I'm going to see how many I have in each stack. So I've got 2, 3, 4. So these two are the same fabric, so I'm going to switch that out and do this. So I have 5 lights there. So I have my darks is a smaller stack, so let's lay these out like this so that our bases are pointed towards each other again. So 1, 2, 3. Don't have another one of those colors. 4, 5. All right, so I have piles of 6 in my dark. Let's see what can I make anything a light? I might be able to make this yellow a light. Oh, I have a lot of them. Okay, 6 here, 5 here. Let's just start by putting these at the bottom, and we're going to put bases together over here. These are our medium values. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Oh, goodness gracious. Do this. I think that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6, and this is what I have left over. And I just really don't know that these will work. I could, since I have 5 and 6 and 6 here, I could make a yellow a light. That might be a pretty bright light. I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think that's too bright. What I can do is go in here and see if I can find 2 light colors that would work with this. Those might work. I kind of read light when I look into the camera. I think I'll go with those, not these. All right, I'm going to set those aside. And these are going to go into that pile of ones I didn't use. So let me get these ironed. All right, there's 2 pieces from my pile of extras that I do believe when I look in the camera they read pretty light. So all right, we've got our lights, we've got our mediums, and we've got our darks. We want to put them together in halves. So the first thing we want to do is take these 2 and put them together on this side. You're just going to line them up right there. We're going to sew along there, and I'm always ironing. This will be the middle piece. I'm always ironing away from that middle piece, and I chain piece all of these. All right, there's all my pieces chain piece. This was the last piece, so that was the one on the bottom of the pile. I want to keep track of that, so I'm going to keep it on the bottom as I cut these. There's my first 2 pieces sewn together, iron towards the light color. Now we want to make sure our 2 bases here go together. And we're just going to put them together like that. And we're going to iron right along, or sew along the bottom here. And I'm going to chain piece these also. All right, there's my first half put together. And I've ironed away from the center piece. Second half is going to go on exactly the same way. We're going to start up here with our light, put it against our dark, and sew those seams together right along there. And I'm going to chain piece these 2. All right, there's my first 2 put together. This is going to be my center triangle, so I have ironed away from it. And now we will put these together again along their bases like that. And iron away from that center triangle. All right, there's my second half done. I pulled my cutting board out. I think maybe you can see the white against it better. But these are what my blocks are gonna look like. And this is just from that one mini charm pack. And like I said, I get 4 every month in that club that I'm in. Pretty cool. I love tumbling block. It is so cool. Let's see, let's put it there. 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, I love it. Look at that. It is so cool. I love the 3D effect. But anyway, I just wanted to show you. I wanted to give you an update. I had told you I was going to do that. I did a few and showed you, but I wanted to give you an update on where I'm at with this, how I'm organizing things, how much I have left to do. It doesn't take very long, maybe about 15 minutes. This one seemed to take a little longer trying to get the mediums, darks, and lights figured out, but I mean, for the most part, it's pretty straightforward when you start pulling the colors out. The other thing I want to tell you is if you have a hard time seeing the tumbling block when you're this close to it in person, if you take your phone and your camera and you look at it through your camera, you can see them a lot better than you can in person actually. So I do that a lot. I look at my quilt patterns through my phone so that I can see the design a little better. Just a little tip. I've been doing that forever. So there you go. Wanted to update you. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Let me know if you're doing anything like this. If you get the mini charm packs each month, what are you doing with them? And hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and you'll get notified as I update this and all the other fun stuff we got going on here. I had a blast doing this. I really did. I love doing it. And I had a blast making the video, and I'll see you in the next. Bye.